Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are so back. All right, so Black Ops 6, you know, we're in season 6. Black Ops 7 is going to be coming out in a couple weeks. Now let's go take a look at some of the new stuff over here. You know, there's a lot of collabs and stuff going on right now, but I think it's only appropriate to go into the haunting, to go into season 6. We have to be the absolute legend of Call of Duty World at War, Viktor Reznov, original Stalingrad Reznov, and there's only one weapon we can choose. You already know, it goes without saying, it's the PPSH-41, but particularly with the drum magazine attachment. Doesn't get more classic than this, which is actually pretty interesting because of course with season 6 they did end up releasing the MP40, the machine pistol 40, except it's called the Dresden 9mm, which I get because for copyright, you know, they can't use actual names of certain weapons, but I think it's interesting that they were able to use the PPSH-41 but not the MP40, especially since it just stands for machine pistol 1940. But anyway, I digress. All right, so there's actually some pretty interesting new stuff over here. We might take a look at that, but you know what? To get warmed up, we're jumping in snipers only.
Take my rifle and watch the road.
Okay, I do recognize it's a little bit bad that I don't even have a custom class. I'm using the default one, but you know what? That's fine. I don't even need to make my own class up to do this. Maybe I spoke a little bit too soon. But yeah, you know how it is. Phase Deeper Jungle back over here. You can call me Phase DJ. That's probably the name. We're going to be doing a classic cut commentary. Just imagine this is the ballista from Black Ops 2. You get the idea. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. And we got a long shot. Do you realize how much skill you need to get a long shot with a sniper rifle? I'm just kidding. It's really not that impressive, but you know what? Also, the other thing is I think this is like the first time that I've ever played this map, so it's going to take a little bit of learning where other players are going to be, you know? I was actually trying this out a little bit earlier today. We were playing on a firing range. Way more intuitive. I mean, heck, I've been playing that map for like better part of 15 years now. So yeah, it's basically just second nature. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah. And we got 2 headshots. Wait, there's more? Oh, there's more. Oh, I'm trying to stay alive. Those were some interesting spawns over there. Okay. So anyway, guys, this is probably going to be my last Black Ops 6 video, but I think it's important to address the elephant in the room, the 4-month elephant in the room before we talk about, you know, final Black Ops 6 videos. Okay, there we go. Oh, another long shot. All right. Okay, firstly, we just gotta focus up because there's a killer baby clown. But yeah, I think it's worth mentioning about where I've been recently. So of course, a little bit earlier this year in April, there was the 10-year anniversary of this YouTube channel. Ever since I uploaded my first ever video back in 2015. Yeah, basically over the summertime, over the springtime, I was really busy. And the other thing too is I was kind of trying to figure out what sort of content I really wanted to make because, you know, I guess you could say I did a little soul searching, so to speak, when it comes to the content that I was making because, you know, 10 years is a long time, especially for doing something like, you know, this YouTube channel, making videos. And it just, after 10 years, it kind of gave me a little bit of perspective as to what I really wanted to do because I just started to feel to a certain extent that a lot of the content that I was making was pretty similar to other content I had made. Basically, over the years, I kind of formulated a sort of regimen or structure for my videos as to, you know, the topics I was going to talk about. I was going to make my videos, editing, stuff like that. And it started to feel a little bit old and it started to feel a little bit stale. So I've just been spending a lot of time recently kind of figuring out what I want to do in regards to content. Also, let's go pick this one up. This is a way cooler sniper rifle. And basically just kind of going from there. And I want to say I do appreciate every person that's watching this video right now because I have an idea. I have some interesting ideas as to some stuff I want to do. I'm not going to spoil it now, but yeah, I'm excited for the new content that I'm going to be making, especially as we kind of head into Black Ops 7 because I know Black Ops 7 is going to be a big opportunity because a little insight, of course, is that if you're a Call of Duty YouTuber, or I guess just a content creator in general, you know, you could be on TikTok or Twitch or wherever. It doesn't just have to be YouTube. If you're a content creator, the best time to be making content, the best time for new opportunities is whenever a new game comes out. And that's what I really want to do with Black Ops 7. Use it as kind of a springboard to do some new styles of content that I haven't really done before and really try some new things. I know it sounds a little bit vague, but I have some big ideas and I don't want to kind of spoil them before they actually come to fruition. Oh, that was actually a pretty nice snipe. And yeah, that actually ties into the other point, and that is this is likely going to be my last Black Ops 6 video, which means it's effectively also going to be kind of my final thoughts on Black Ops 6, because of course, the longest running series I've had on my channel has been my Final Thoughts series. I started way back in 2015 with Advanced Warfare, which is 10 years ago since I made my first video, and then it's going to continue up till now, where I will say over this past year, I didn't really play much Black Ops 6. I wasn't really like in tune with Black Ops 6 when it comes to like all the new updates and new content, all the new seasons and stuff like that. So I can't really go into great detail as to the trajectory of this year's game, you know. I will say, just speaking from the experience that I had with the game, I played it a lot more when it first came out, and then it kind of tapered down. And then of course I was still, you know, keeping an eye on things. Like for example, when Verdansk came out in April and they brought back the guns from Modern Warfare 2019. Oh, that's a collateral. Okay. You know, they brought back the guns from Modern Warfare 2019. I knew about that. And I also was at least decently aware of the perception that people had about Black Ops 6. And that of course includes the good things and the bad things about the game. So one thing I will say, and this is kind of like my overarching thoughts about this game, is that, you know, when it came out, it had a lot of potential. It was very similar to Modern Warfare 2 in the sense that there was a lot of hype for the game. I think pre-orders were historically high. It was way more popular than what Modern Warfare 3, not the 2011 game, but the 2023 game was. And people were excited for it. And it was kind of interesting because they did Omni movement. You know, this was the first Treyarch game, like a Black Ops game, that was going to be introducing kind of the new engine that was done with Modern Warfare 2. So yeah, there's a lot of hype. There's a lot of anticipation for the game. And I will say, and these were my initial thoughts from the beta and when the game first came out, and that's it felt really good. The gameplay felt really smooth. You know, I had a couple of hiccups naturally because the game had first came out, but it was good. However, the thing is that the post-launch content was, let's just say, hit or miss, to put it lightly. You know, a lot of the maps were pretty small. They didn't really have much variety, at least in that regard. There were a lot of issues with, you know, hackers and cheaters, especially in Warzone. That was a big issue. And then one thing that was very interesting, that was the whole topic of kind of realism, you know. Black Ops 6 had some of the most outlandish collaborations. I mean, we all remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collaboration, which I did make a video on. I will be the first to admit that. And like the cartoon characters, and it got pretty silly. And I think especially after 2 years of Modern Warfare 2 and then Modern Warfare 3, which, you know, those games weren't exactly mil-sim shooters, but they were a little bit more grounded. It was kind of jarring. And I will say a lot of things about Black Ops 6 were kind of monetized to a very extreme extent. I mean, you know, in Modern Warfare 3, as an example, there would be challenges or different seasonal events where you can unlock stuff. But in Black Ops 6, you had like your base unlocks that you could get for free, and then you have to pay on top of that to go and get better rewards. It was kind of a mess, which that was one thing I will say. I mean, personally, I've always liked the Black Ops series. The Black Ops series has always been my favorite games. My first game that I ever played online was Black Ops 1. But one thing that's always been interesting about the Black Ops series is the series has always had a troubled relationship with microtransactions. I mean, heck, the first game in the Call of Duty series to have a DLC weapon was Black Ops 2. And then also Black Ops 2 was the first game to have DLC camos like the Bacon camo. And I believe Weaponized 115, if I'm not mistaken. Also, we're in a 10. Let's go. And I know it's kind of interesting now, but if you go back and watch the videos and you read like the forum posts from 2013 when the Peacekeeper, that was the first gun that was a DLC weapon during the first DLC pack for Black Ops 2, it was actually a pretty big deal where people were like, hey, you know, I'm paying for the full game, but yet there are guns they're adding on as DLC, because again, back then the only way that you could get it was by either purchasing the season pass or by purchasing just that straight DLC pack. And of course, we all remember Black Ops 3 with the supply drops, which was a tarnish on otherwise an incredible game. And then I think the worst example of this, which it's kind of funny in hindsight, but I'll have to say, is Black Ops 4, which, remember, for Black Ops 4, they just did every kind of DLC under the sun. You know, you had your regular DLC packs, there were 4 of them, and you could also get, I think it was called the Black Ops Pass, which was basically the season pass. So you had your regular maps, they weren't free. And then you also had a battle pass system on top of that, which every single season there ended up being a new battle pass, basically just like Fortnite. You know, this was 2018, it was still new at the time. And then you also had different camos and mastercrafts that you could buy as bundles in the item shop. And then last but not least, but they released this a little bit later, you then had a supply drop system. So literally all kinds of microtransactions were all in Black Ops. Wow, okay, that was a bit weird. We're all in Black Ops 4 all at the same time. So it was kind of crazy. And again, that's also a little bit of a shame because Black Ops 4's gameplay was just freaking incredible. But with that all being said, you know, I still think that Black Ops 6, like core gameplay wise, is a really good game. It's just, it had a couple of tarnishes. It had a couple of blemishes. And that's why a lot of people kind of stopped playing the game. I mean, I think it was kind of similar to Modern Warfare 2, where basically Black Ops 6 had a huge player spike at the beginning. Like, it sold a lot. Oh, let's go. We're gonna have to hit the inspect animation on that one. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Black Ops 6, just like Modern Warfare 2, had an incredible amount of hype for it, a lot of pre-orders, a lot of sales, but then quickly declined, like a very drastic player drop-off happened. But then one thing that I find pretty interesting is that, of course, Black Ops 7 releasing a little bit later this year, they're basically doing the same thing that they did with Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 from 2022 into 2023. But as a lot of people will remember, Modern Warfare 3, in many regards, at least for multiplayer, was significantly better and improved upon a lot of the things that people didn't like about Modern Warfare 2. That's not to say that the game was perfect by any means, but there were a lot of improvements. And that's one thing that I'm really looking forward to seeing about Black Ops 7. And I think a lot of that is due in part to Battlefield 6, which is kind of interesting because basically, as I'm sure we all remember, oh, okay, there we go. Black Ops 7 was revealed and it didn't exactly go over as well as intended. I mean, Black Ops 6's reveal was actually quite positive. There were a lot of people that were interested and hoping to play the game, kind of like Modern Warfare 2. But then when Black Ops 7 got revealed, there was quite a bit of feedback for it. And especially because, at least at the reveal of the game, it looked like it was going to have a lot of issues that plagued Black Ops 6. I mean, there was carry forward as an example. So everything from Black Ops 6 was going to be in Black Ops 7. So all of the silly characters, all of the guns, all of that were going to be in Black Ops 7. It was just going to be carried over like Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. And then the pre-order skins and all of that, it looked kind of silly or over the top. And then the beta comes around and then skill-based matchmaking is still pretty poor. I'd say it was very strong. But one thing that's very good is that Treyarch and Activision also listened to feedback, at least in that regard. I mean, they got a lot of pushback from the carry forward as an example, and carry forward got changed. So now, the silly characters and the guns and all that stuff from Black Ops 6 is not going to be in Black Ops 7. So that way it's more of a standalone game that has its own identity and is not just a glorified DLC. Another thing, and this was actually something that really surprised me, is the success of non-skill-based matchmaking, because as I'm sure any person that has played a game or a Call of Duty game since 2019 knows about strict skill-based matchmaking, which here's the thing, skill-based matchmaking of course has existed as some form or another since 2007 with COD 4, but prioritizing skill for a lobby over connection, that's where it starts to become problematic. And then when every single thing that you do in a game is analyzed so that way your next game is going to be quantifying that data and then matching you up with different players that have a certain amount of, let's say, have a higher percentage of sliding as compared to walking, it was kind of crazy. They had a very advanced algorithm for skill-based matchmaking, and that was done away with. It initially started as just a playlist that had the traditional matchmaking system, as it was called. That was very popular, and now with the launch of Black Ops 7, well, there's going to be no more skill-based matchmaking, and I think that is, again, very promising. And I think, candidly, and this is the thing that I've even made a couple posts about before, is that a lot of it just comes down to competition. I mean, Battlefield 6 had a tremendous launch. There was a lot of hype for it, and it was a gritty, realistic, down-to-earth military shooter. You weren't going to be seeing crazy cartoon characters running around, and the gameplay was very good, and a lot of people really resonated with it. And because of that, it meant that naturally Black Ops was going to be having competition this year. And unlike in past years where basically it's like, okay, well, you're going to be playing the new game or if there's no other alternative, that's not the case. And that's why I go back to saying that competition is definitely a good thing. And basically, because of the success of Battlefield 6, we are now getting a better Black Ops 7, which is really good to see. And that's why I think it's going to be very interesting to see what the next Modern Warfare game is going to be like, because I think it's already been pretty much confirmed that COD 2026 is going to be Modern Warfare 4. I mean, candidly, it's been kind of an open secret. I mean, when you have Modern Warfare 2 in 2022, the Modern Warfare 3 in 2023, and then you end the campaign on a bit of a cliffhanger, like naturally the next Infinity Ward game is going to be Modern Warfare 4. And it's going to be interesting to see what that's going to be like, what will a rebooted Modern Warfare be without very strict skill-based matchmaking, or sticking true with the more realistic kind of feel that, let's say, launch Modern Warfare 2019 or launch Modern Warfare 2 had. That's going to be really interesting to see, and that's one thing I'm excited to see. So yeah, that's just a little bit of food for thought. So thank you very much for watching this video. It definitely feels good to be back. I'm looking forward to making some more content here with Black Ops 7, which is going to be releasing in a couple more weeks from now at the time me making this one. So if you went on to enjoy it, make sure you leave a like on it down below, as well as be sure to subscribe. So thank you once again for watching. I'm your host, Deeper Jungle. As always, I hope to see you in the next one.